Hi, how are you? And now let's talk about the link between strategy and thinking. Uh, One of the major challenges that we have and the key drivers of the global strategy crisis that we are fighting, that is everywhere in environment and development, in economics, in business, organizations, social issues and challenges, and also in leadership. The crisis is caused by very predictable common factors that affect everybody throughout the world and in every situation where we have a strategy crisis. And we need to fight this strategy crisis and prevail over it so that we'll be able to solve our problems that we are failing to solve or failing to achieve, including the successful implementation of the sustainable development goals and also to achieve sustainability in terms of our environmental management and economic development and also social development. So today I'll talk about strategy and thinking. Most people don't know exactly what is involved in a strategy and also in strategic capability when somebody has got a strategic capability. And even most who call themselves strategists, they have no idea or they have very little information or knowledge about what really goes into that capability to become a strategist. Many people, they are mistaken. They think that if you do study a degree in some discipline like MBA or accounts or business studies or economics, the subject matter of that discipline, knowledge of that discipline or subject matter will make you a strategist. That's not correct. Of course, if you are going into strategy, doing business strategy and economic strategy, it may help you a bit to understand the subject matter like economics or business or HR or organizations. But that knowledge alone does not make you a strategist. If you really do your research on meta strategy, an area that I focus on a lot, meta strategy, the strategy about strategy or going beyond or above strategy, is a discipline that will help you to understand what goes into strategy and what really is real strategy. Because now we have got so many versions of strategy which are not strategies, either which are maybe some of them are actually fake versions of strategy. They are fake strategies, fake versions, and some of them they are incomplete versions of strategy, and some of them they are not accurate. They are some of them even especially when it comes to planning, most of what we call strategic planning is not producing and does not produce any strategic plans at all. They produce basic operational plans and budgets. So that's what most of us are doing most of the time. If you want to get more information of this strategic crisis, I think you can follow also Professor Michael Porter. He's also crying about the same thing that most of for the organizations that he works with, especially even large corporates, they still are confused. They're not clear about what really is strategy and what is strategic planning and what comprises strategy. People come up with all sorts of things and then they call them strategies or strategic plans. Even an idea, someone is got an idea about how to do something and it says I have a strategy. Not every idea is a strategy, not every plan is a strategy. We need to understand, have a correct and clear and accurate understanding of strategy before we can actually then begin to be effective in strategy. So basically, from what you see there, strategy involves, in terms of capability, it involves three main areas. So the most of it is strategic thinking, and then you have got domain specific knowledge. That's what I was talking about. Maybe if you want then to specialize in business strategy, it also helps you to understand and to read around and to know business and business management, business strategy, business acumen, all those things to do with business. Then you become a business strategist. But knowing subject matter knowledge alone, like business or MBA, does not make, it's not guarantee that you become a good strategist or an effective strategist. You may try and get something, but not necessarily to make you become a real strategy commando. And then if you also look at intellectual strategy knowledge, that's where, so if you really want then to improve a bit on your strategy from just knowing subject matter knowledge, then you have to read around the area of strategy and strategic thinking and strategic planning. So it's a domain that is very specific when you talk about strategy. So maybe if you study strategic management, then that will help you more than if you just think you can become a good strategist by reading domain specific books like marketing, like leadership, like sales, like business. So that knowledge won't make you a very good strategist. But the most important thing I want to say here is that the majority of what contributes to your strategic capacities, your thinking, is how you are born, it's how your brain is wired. So at times it's easier, instead of trying to pretend to be what you are not, or to pretend to be very good in what you're not. Just get someone who is very good in that area, get a strategist to help you, so that you don't end up pretending or fooling yourself that you are a strategist and you end up coming with things that are not strategies. You can't fake in strategy, you can't fake. You can fake in other areas like leadership and marketing, and you still get away with it. But with the strategy, you can't fake, because strategy is directly linked to results. So your strategy will sell you out on the results of that strategy. So then I also talk about deeper into the issue of thinking. I've developed this map that you can see on thinking. So these are all the domains of thinking, or the formats of types of thinking that that I managed to find out or to explore and discover. So, for example, we talk of creative thinking. It's also used very much in strategy. In strategic thinking, it's part of strategic thinking. Then you are looking at visionary thinking. You are looking at conceptual thinking. You are talking about productive thinking and reproductive thinking. Sometimes most people, they make the mistake of thinking that they are coming up with a strategy when all what they are doing is reproductive thinking. There is no good strategy that comes out from 100% reproductive thinking. A lot of good strategies comes from productive thinking and creative thinking, where you are going to come up with a new or different way of approach or of doing things. That's where you get a strategic advantage. Um, then we are looking at synthetic thinking, divergent thinking, convergent thinking, all those types of thinking, secular thinking. Some people, they they think in secular, they loop in terms of thinking, so they end up not having a solution or a different solution. So most times when you are stuck, it means you are in a thinking loop, so you are not going anywhere. So you fail to find a solution or a breakthrough, because your thinking is looping. So then we also talk about the other types: rectangular thinking, synchronized thinking, discrete thinking, intelligent thinking, stupid thinking. Sometimes we get involved. Even myself, sometimes I get involved in some kind of stupid thinking. Then you realize later that, how did I come up with that kind of thinking? Sometimes it's way after you have done something and you have not produced a result, or you have produced a bad result because of your stupid thinking, being naive. So all these things, breakthrough thinking, or if you want more information of these types of thinking, or if you want to improve them, and you want to find which of these are you strong in, I think it's better to contact me. Then we can go through this kind of thinking. So strategy and thinking, they are very much connected, and most of your strategic capability and capacity is hinged in your how you think rather than what you know. So that's what I want to say about strategic thinking, strategy, and thinking. This is part of the war that we must fight against the global strategy crisis. Because if we don't win the global strategy crisis, we are losing out on all the challenges that we are facing: environmental, business, economic, social, leadership, management, marketing, all those things that where we have a strategy crisis. Plus 26377444743 Simon S. Bell at gmail.com. Thinking is very difficult, but the strategy is also hard work. People take it very lightly, and that's why we are in a strategy crisis. Let's take strategy seriously. and then we can see that we are going to produce better results and better performance and solve more of the problems that we are failing to solve.